UCLA faces Pitt, shorthanded Pitt, in the Sun Bowl today. Joey Bosa and his extremely happy groin return to practice with the Chargers. And how far have the Dodgers fallen? Even the computer geeks are not sure. Hi, I'm James. This is your daily dose of sports and snark for the greatest sports city in the world, Los Angeles. This is the faithful Angelenos morning report. And we hope it will be a morning report. For those of you who are wondering where yesterday's clip went, this state, basically, I don't know what the hell happens. Maybe a killer whale just dives too far down, accidentally chews through the Wi-Fi network or something, and the whole state goes dark. I have no idea. We were like North Korea yesterday. We had nothing. We didn't have any internet. We didn't have any power. We were just sitting there chewing on snow and leaves and hoping for the best. So hopefully today we'll get the clip out on time. And if you like the content we put out about LA sports, clickety-clack the like button. Clickety-clack the subscribe button. There's a notifications bell. Hit that. It lets you know when we drop new content. Sharing is caring. Let people know we exist. And by all means, comment. I'm sure I will get it at some point. So before we go through the notes, let's talk about the scoreboard. Kawhi Leonard dropped 26 points last night. It didn't matter though. The Celtics posted a 116-110 victory over the Clippers. Meanwhile, Adrian Kempe scored the game winner in a shootout. The Kings rally to defeat the defending Stanley Cup champion Colorado Avalanche 5-4. Today, Pitt will be playing 18th ranked UCLA this afternoon in the Sun Bowl. We'll talk a little bit more about that game in a moment. Also, the Lakers are in Atlanta. The Hawks, well, we're trying to look for any reasons of optimism when we talk the Lakers these days. The Hawks, they're just piddling along the year. They're 17-18, so there's a chance for a win there. 11th ranked UCLA basketball is up in Washington State at 8 tonight. The Bruins have an 8-game winning streak. That is the longest streak they've ever had under coach Mick Cronin. And USC is going to play at Washington at 7. The Huskies have lost 5 consecutive games to USC. Now, normally when it comes to USC and UCLA football, I try to come out with a special preview clip to give you guys a breakdown as to what to expect. Because of the internet issues that I've been having up here, I'm not able to do that, but it doesn't necessarily matter. I see no reason why the Bruins will not win today. Could be wrong. I get it. Not perfect, but follow me on this. We were wondering for the entire last month, what is going to happen with the transfer portal? What is going to happen with the NFL draft? Will people leave? Will Dorian Thompson-Robinson leave? Will Zach Charbonnet leave? No, didn't happen. The only Bruins player that left early to skip the bowl game for the NFL draft is Kaz Allen, a wide receiver, who is valuable, but he's not one of the 3 key players in their offense. He's number 4. Meanwhile, look at Pittsburgh. They are missing their starting quarterback. Keaton Slovis entered the transfer portal. He basically bolted across the country, and he's going to wind up playing at BYU. Top running back Israel Abanikanda is out. He's declared for the NFL draft. So the Bruins have all their skilled offensive players. Pitt doesn't. But there is an even bigger reason why you should like the Bruins today. It is true that Pitt led the ACC in rush defense. Totally grant you that. But 4 defensive starters in the Panthers' front 7, gone. They're not playing. So UCLA going into the game, even if Pittsburgh was at full strength, UCLA is by far the more physical team. And they have their stars playing, and they have their offensive line playing. Pittsburgh is an upstart at best. And I see no reason why to choose the Panthers in today's game. So if you're a UCLA fan, take a moment and appreciate both Thompson-Robinson and Charbonnet as they take their final bows for the Bruins program. Chargers defensive end Joey Bosa returned to practice for the first time in 3 months. Now, he only took part in 15 snaps, and they have not activated him yet. They could still do that in time for Sunday's game against the Rams. Obviously, we'll keep you posted. He told the Los Angeles Times that the rest has allowed him, quote, to be feeling better than I have in years, unquote. It's interesting. He said that he had been dealing with core and groin issues for the last 2 years. As a result, he overcompensated. Now, you might know how it is. Let's say you have a right knee issue and all of a sudden you just start favoring the left to relieve the pain. Next thing you know, you have 2 jacked up knees. Now, I'm not going to go into detail and tell you that Bosa jacked up both sides of his groin because we have an extremely strict no personal details on men's groins policy here at Faithful Angelino Sports. We're just basically going to keep it simple. He hurt his groin. He's been out since week 3. He might come back Sunday. If he does, we'll let you know. Computer simulations, especially from a group called Fangraphs, which is widely used in the baseball media. They speculate that the Dodgers will have their fewest wins in a season since 2012. They are projecting them to only have 89 wins. Now, I want you to keep in mind how much of a drop-off that would be. 22 games, considering that in real life last season, the Dodgers won a franchise record 111 regular season games. For Pete's sake, in the last 6 seasons alone, the Dodgers averaged more than 104 wins a year. And now you're dropping all the way to 89? Even the people at Fangraphs are like, we don't buy our computer models at all. And there's a reason for it. The people who run Fangraphs are like, you know something? The Dodgers are really good at taking players that we had no idea could be rehabilitated. And all of a sudden they have career years. So the computers are good at certain things. Hell, for Pete's sake, James Cameron, before he started making movies about fictitious blue people running around in a magical planet, years ago, he created movies about how Skynet AI was going to be self-aware. That was supposed to happen years ago. But even if Skynet did become self-aware, there's no way in hell that Skynet's priority is going to be deciding whether or not Jason Hayward is going to be able to MASH again next year. Take over the planet? Create Terminators to go back in time? Sure. Figuring out if Noah Syndergaard is going to learn a cut fastball? No, they're not going to prioritize that. So Fangraphs can only do so much. When Skynet tells you that Shelby Miller is going to be pitching no-hitter after no-hitter, then be very much afraid. That's my point. Meanwhile, Dodgers general manager Brandon Gomes, by the way, if you're a Dodger fan, did you know they had a GM? You kind of have to think about it, you know? Brandon Gomes said that they are looking at other ways to boost the roster other than just fanning out blank checks, you know, just making it rain blank checks in the free agent market. Now, that's not going to happen. I don't think they're going to be finding too much on the trade market. Reporters are still adding names to the list of players the Dodgers allegedly want. How many times do these guys have to be proven that they're wrong? Having said that, Brandon Gomes did express confidence in the bullpen, which is odd because the Dodgers cut a reliever yesterday. Jake Reed has been designated for an assignment. The reason that happened, it had to open up a spot on the roster for designated hitter J.D. Martinez. Now, Mr. Reed, he's had a very odd go of it. He's been with 4 different organizations since July. 4. I don't even know if the man's pitched a major league game since July. He just keeps bouncing from one organization to the next. We mentioned last week that the Rams added Linnell Murchison after Tennessee put him on waivers. Now, Murchison, to his credit, had a wonderful Sunday. He paid immediate dividends. He had 2 sacks versus Denver, which is great. And then he followed it up by meeting his head coach. Sean McVay was like, I don't know who this guy is. All of a sudden, he's on the field blowing up Denver's offensive line. I think I'll say hi. And I got to tell you something. Playing for the Rams has to be awesome when you think about it, right? Name me one other job where you only meet your boss after you do something great. Never happens, does it? Everywhere else, yeah, maybe you meet an HR person, they sit you down in a cubicle and you watch video after video that tells you, not to sexually harass your coworkers or to use racial jokes. And then after that you work, but you never really meet the big head honchos unless they're like, hey Bob, we'd like you to meet somebody. And by the way, can you bring everything in your desk with you? Then you meet the boss. At least with the Rams, now you meet Sean McVay if you get 2 sacks. Kudos, man. Kudos. USC sophomore offensive lineman Jonah Monheim has been rated the number 8th draft eligible tackle in the country, according to Pro Football Focus. But this group, Pro Football Focus, which produced the rankings, say that it's unlikely that Monheim is going to take advantage of this number 8 ranking for offensive linemen. It's unlikely he's going to declare for the NFL draft because he still needs to improve. What they're looking for is more consistent displays of strength. And if he can do that, his draft stock, which again, number 8th lineman, would just skyrocket right through the roof, and you're looking at a potential high first-round draft pick. Now, he played a lot of right tackle and some right guard last year for the Trojans. I don't know if that means they're also thinking of switching him to left. I don't know. It's way too early to know. By the way, Pro Football Focus also created a mock draft. They have Jordan Addison, the wide receiver, going number 14 to the Patriots. We'll see what happens. Kawhi Leonard has noticed the improvement in his Clippers teammate, Norman Powell. Now, they've played on the same team before. Powell was just a role player when both of them were playing up in Toronto. Powell was only averaging fewer than 19 minutes a game. Now, he's averaging 20 points a game for the Clippers. Leonard said that Powell knows how to find and recognize what's a good shot. And that's actually important. Sometimes you'll get the pass. I've heard basketball players talk about this. You get a good pass and you have to sit there and think, is this a good shot? Oh, it's a good shot. And by that time, the defender's in your face. Leonard is saying that Powell has basically just knows immediately whether or not he's got a good shot and will take it. And the only way that you get that is with playing time, which he wasn't getting up in Toronto. MLSsoccer.com has graded both LAFC and the Galaxy's Super Drafts. The Super Draft was held about a week or so ago. They graded them both at B-. Regarding LAFC, they traded away their first-round draft pick last year to Denver. MLSsoccer.com likes the choice of goalie Jasern Kolilat in the second round. If I mispronounce the gentleman's name, I apologize. They did like the Galaxy's top pick. The Galaxy did have a number 1 pick. They chose a great collegiate scorer from Central Florida, Gino Vivi. But having said that, the Galaxy do have forwards, and they're probably looking for international strikers instead of collegians to put the ball in the net. So he is a long shot to make the roster next year. Now, having said that, let me know what you think in the comments thread about the Sun Bowl. Let me know what you think about if the Dodgers are actually going to win 22 fewer games this next year, if you believe that. Let me know what you think about Joey Bosa and the Rams, or if he's playing against the Rams this weekend. And if you enjoyed this content, don't forget to subscribe to Faithful Angelenos. We talk LA sports here every single day, sometimes just a little later than normal. Thank you for watching. I'm James. We'll be back tomorrow. Faithful Angelenos is a Kian Corta El Queso production. Take care.